Jerry Martin steps in. We're ready to go. And for play-by-play, let's turn it over to Harry Callis.
All right, thank you, Andy. The first pitch by John Candelaria, swing and a miss and a fastball. Martin is 0 for 2 on the season. This, of course, is the first left-hand starting pitcher the Phillies have faced. Jerry hit Candelaria well last year. He was 5 for 17, and 2 of those 5 hits were home runs. Here's Candelaria's one-strike pitch. Fastball is high, and it's 1-1. Phillies did not beat the Candyman last year. He was 3-0 against the Phillies. In lifetime, he is 4-1. The 1-1 pitch to Jerry Martin. Breaking ball, popped to shallow right field. Dave Parker is right there, and he squeezes it. Jerry Martin is out, 1 down. That'll bring up Larry Boa. Boa batting .333. Fans during every Phillies game, each Philly that homers receives a free case of Tasty Cakes. And one also tonight for the Bacharach Rehabilitation Center. The same goes for every Philly winning pitcher. 1 down, John Candelaria. Winds in the pitch to Boa. Curveball is over for a strike called. 1 strike to Larry Boa. Here's Candelaria's 1-strike pitch. Another breaking ball is popped down the first base side. It's a fair ball landing on the right field line. Boa on his way to second base and goes in standing with a double. A looping double to shallow right, just inside the line. Just fair.
Couldn't have thrown it out there any better than that. Just an inch or so inside the chalk line. Right between Parker, Sargent, and Bennett. No hitter tonight, Harry.
Larry Boa at second base, 1 down. Here's Mike Schmidt. Schmidt batting .300 right on the nose. 1 home run. He leads the Phils and runs batted in with 8. One of the reasons for Candelaria's success against the Phillies last year was the fact that he handled Schmidt and Luzinski. Pitch to Mike, swing and a miss and a fastball. Schmidt was 2 for 10 off him, and Luzinski 2 for 11. 1 strike to count to Mike Schmidt. Candelaria is just 24 years old. Has a phenomenal winning percentage in the major leagues, 45 and 18. Pitch is high and away for a ball. It's 1-1. Ball and a strike to Mike Schmidt. Top half of the first ball game just underway. First of 2 against the Buccos. Steve Carlton will pitch tomorrow night against Bert Blyleven. 1-1 pitch to Schmidt. Curveball fouled out of play. And now you can win even more money in the Daily News Home Run Payoff because this season every hit pays off. Tonight's payoff inning will be the 5th inning. Ball and 2 strikes to Mike Schmidt. Larry Boa, base runner at second base, 1 out. Candelaria stretches, 1-2 pitch. Fastball fouled straight back. It stays 1-2. Candelaria had the best winning percentage among starting pitchers in the National League last year, 20 and 5. Lowest earned run mark, 2.34. He was the top control pitcher in the National League. Here's his stretch, 1-2 pitch, fastball, swing and a miss. He struck him out. Schmidt goes down swinging. That's 2 down, and that'll bring on Greg Luzinski. Greg batting .292, 3 extra base hits. They've all been doubled, and he has knocked in 4 runs. Larry Boa, second base, 2 out. By Candelaria. And the pitch to the ball is a fastball high for a ball. Candelaria's fastball, he does throw up around the letters. Hitters occasionally will go out of the strike zone to chase the pitch. 1-0 pitch to Luzinski is high again, ball 2. It's 2-0. Jose Cardinal waiting on deck. A chilly night here in Pittsburgh, but clear. The 2-0 pitch to the bull, swings and he misses with a good fastball. 2-1 to Luzinski. Oakland defeated Minnesota 7-2 this afternoon in a day game. Here's the 2-1 pitch to the ball. Fouls it straight back. Pete Broberg won that game. The loser was Paul Tormenskar. They're having rain problems at St. Louis tonight. New York Mets scheduled to play the Cardinals. It's being delayed because of rain. In the third inning at Cleveland, Texas and Cleveland are 0-0. Candelaria stretches. There goes Boa. 2-2 pitches high. No throw by Ott, who lost grip of the baseball. A stolen base for Larry Boa. Boa's third steal of the year. He has not been caught.
Wouldn't have made any difference whether Ott caught the ball or not. Boa had the long lead, and Candelaria not paying that much attention to him. And ordinarily won't steal third with 2 outs, but they were giving it to Boa, so he took it.
Full count to Greg Luzinski. Candelaria's 3-2 pitch to the ball, swing and a foul back. Phillies may try to take some liberties on Ed Ott tonight. Phillies got a scouting report from St. Louis. Cardinals stole 7 bases in one game against Ott. None of his throws at second base were anywhere near the bag. 3-2 pitch to the ball. Just inside, ball 4. He walked it. Close pitch to take, but Luzinski's a base runner. So the Phillies have runners at first and third. Ball at third, Luzinski at first, 2 down. It'll bring up Jose Cardinal. Cardinal, 0 for 1 this season. He has driven in a run with a bases-loaded walk that won a ball game at St. Louis. Phillies played Jose a lot at first base this spring, and that's where he's playing tonight. The pitch to Cardinal, curveball, broken bat, 1-hopper right at Rennie's center. The second baseman throws out Cardinal. And the Phillies go down in the first. No runs a hit, no errors, 2 left. At the end of 1/2, Phil's 0. Pittsburgh coming to bat.
Time was station wagon.
Another final from this afternoon. San Francisco defeated Atlanta 5-1. By the Blue winning his first game of the National League. County Boggs took the loss. Frank Tavares leads off for the Buccos here in the bottom of the first. Tavares batting .211. Here's the pitch to Tavares. Swing a line drive right to Mike Schmidt, who spears it, and there's 1 out on 1 pitch. Lombard making his second start of the year. He is 0-1, having lost to Montreal. I want to bring on Omar Moreno, the center fielder. Moreno is batting .192. You mentioned the Pirates simply have not been hitting. Here's the pitch to Moreno, and it's over for a strike call. 1 strike to Omar Moreno. Complete Bucco center fielder. Lombard's pitch on the way is a breaking ball that misses inside. It's 1-1. Lonnie yesterday celebrated his 35th birthday. Ball on the strike to Moreno at 1 out. Pitch to him, swing, and a foul down the left field side. 1 ball, 2 strikes, the count to Omar Moreno.
Moreno's changed his stance. I suppose you have a tendency to do that when you're in a slump, but he's opened up a little bit, and he's batting out of a crouch. Used to be kind of a stand-up hitter.
Here's the 1-2 pitch to him. Swing and a foul straight back. Stays the ball in 2 strikes. The Phillies currently are tied for first in National League East with St. Louis and Chicago. The Pirates at this stage are in the number 6 spot. They have won 3 and lost 6. Phillies had all kinds of problems winning at this ballpark last year. The Phillies were 1-8 here. Steve Carlton winning the only game here last year. Swing and a line drive to right field. Martin comes on, can't get it. Tries to keep it in front of him. It gets behind him, and Moreno goes to second base. So Omar Moreno lines double. Now they're going to score a single and an error on Jerry Martin. Moreno at second base on a hit and an error. That'll bring on Dave Parker.
I don't know whether that's an error or not. Martin tried to catch the ball in the air. At least that's what he had in mind. He didn't get to it. Kind of wound up on a short hop and actually did a pretty good job of smothering it.
Here's Dave Parker batting .235. Last year's National League batting champ, and the pitch to him is outside for a ball. Omar Moreno at second base. He has good speed. 1 out. Bottom of the first. 0-0 ball game. 1-0 pitch to Parker. A changeup grounded sharply at Ted Sizemore. He gloves and throws. Parker is out, and on the play, Moreno moves up to third. With 2 down, that'll bring on Bill Robinson. Robinson is about the only Pirate who's hitting the ball. He's batting .320. Has hit 3 home runs already this year and knocked in 9 runs. Robinson, since being traded from the Phillies to the Buccos, has really hurt the Phillies. He hit .379 against Phil's pitching last year. Moreno third base, 2 outs. Lomborg works from the stretch in the pitch. Swing and a miss and a good slider. 1 strike to Bill Robinson. Now the stretch by Lomborg and the 1-strike pitch. Swing and a miss. Another good breaking ball by Lomborg, and he's quickly in front of Robinson. 0-2. Here's the stretch by Lomborg. 2-strike pitch. High with a fastball. 1-2. Lonnie lifetime against the Pirates has won 2 and lost 4. 1-2 pitch to Robinson. Ground ball to shortstop. Larry Boa has it on a big hop. Throws in plenty of time, and the Pirates go down in the first. No runs, 1 hit, 1 error, and 1 left. And at the end of 1, Phil's 0, Buccos 0. Now it's time for a tasty break. Well, the Phillies are back home on Monday night. A week from tonight at Veterans Stadium, the Chicago Cubs will move in. Dave Kingman and company, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Monday night's game will start an hour later than usual. It'll start at 8:35 on Monday night, the 24th. Tuesday and Wednesday, the 25th and 26th, at 7:35. And remember, batting glove weekend when San Diego moves in on the 28th, 29th, and 30th. The entire weekend, all youngsters 14 and under will get a Phillies batting glove, and they'll be autographed by different players on each night. On Friday night, the 28th, batting gloves autographed by Mike Schmidt to be given away to all youngsters 14 and under. On the 29th, batting gloves autographed by Gary Maddox. And on the 30th, batting gloves autographed by Greg Luzinski. Batting glove weekend, mark it down, against San Diego, the 28th, 29th, and 30th. Gary Maddox leads off for the Phils here in the second. Gary batting .370. 2 extra base hits. They have both been doubles. We are waiting for the appearance of Dave Parker, who now comes out of the Pirate dugout and trots out toward right field. Birthday wishes tonight to Jan Ashford, Whitey's lovely daughter, celebrating 23 for Jan. Here's Candelaria's windup and the pitch to Maddox. Fastball, swing and a miss. 1 strike to Gary Maddox. While the Phillies had trouble winning here last year, the Pirates also had trouble winning at Veterans Stadium. They won only 2 at the vet. Breaking ball is low and inside to Maddox. It's 1-1. Candelaria is 1-1 this year. Pitch on the way, popped up down the third base side. Shortstop Frank Tavares running Phil Garner off, and he squeezes it for round number 1. That'll bring on Bob Boone. Boone hitting .133. Has 1 home run, has knocked in 4 runs. Boone had only 1 hit off Candelaria last year in 11 at-bats. That 1 hit was a home run. Wind up by Candelaria. The pitch to Boone is a fastball that's over for a strike call. One strike pitch to Bob Boone. Another fastball. It's over. Strike 2 called. 0-2. John McSherry is the plate umpire tonight. Paul Runge at first, Bob Engel at second, and Jerry Dale at third. Here's the 2-strike pitch. Fastball high, 1-2. Candelaria, just 24 years old, has already won 45 big league games. Won his opener, shutout against Chicago, and lost to St. Louis this year. Swinging a foul straight back. Stays 1-2 to Bob Boone with 1 down. One-two pitch to Boone. Swing, a line drive center field. That's going to drop for a base hit. Moreno fields it on 1 hop, and Bob Boone has the Phillies' second hit off John Candelaria. Boone at first base, 1 down. That'll bring up Ted Sizemore. Ted batting 160. Phillies had a threat in the first inning. Runners at first and third, but Candelaria got Cardinale on a 1-hopper to Rennie Stennett. The pitch to Sizemore is a curveball that's over for a strike call. One strike to Ted Sizemore, Bob Boone first base, and 1 out. And he stretches in the pitch. Fastball outside, ball 1. The count 1-1 to Size. Ted steps out. He looks down at third base coach Bill DeMars. 1-1 pitch. Curveball. Pop foul out of play. Let's pause for station identification on the Phillies Baseball Network.
At 9 o'clock, this is KYW Philadelphia. AccuWeather says it'll be clear and chilly tonight, for low 39. Tomorrow, sunshine, followed by increasing cloudiness. 50 degrees and clear at Independence Mall.
1-2 to Ted Sizemore. 1-2 pitch to him, swinging a foul back to the screen that sticks in the screen. Stays a ball and 2 strikes. Candelaria's 1-2 pitch. Line shot to left field. That's going to drop for a hit. Robinson cuts it off on 1 hop. Heading for third base is Boone. He's safe there, holding at first with a single, Ted Sizemore. So the Phillies have runners at first and third as Size ropes one down the left field line.
Teddy got around on a good inside fastball. A little surprised that Bill Robinson, the left fielder, was playing Sizemore so close to the line. Teddy ordinarily wouldn't pull the ball against Candelaria like that. Up to Lomborg.
Philly runners first and third, 1 down. Lomborg has been a bat once this year with 1 hit. Line shot, that's a fair ball down the left field line, going all the way to the corner. Boone scores. Ball skips away from Bill Robinson. Sizemore rounding third. He scores. Lomborg at second with a double. He'll get 1 run batted in, evidently. I don't know if they're going to call an error on Bill Robinson or not. But at any rate, the Phils lead it 2-0. Lomborg is now 2 for 2 this season.
I believe that's what it is, a double, a 1-run batted in, the ball getting away from Robinson, allowing Sizemore to score from third. I tell you, they're giving Lomborg 2 runs batted in, so evidently no error. Boone, Sizemore, and Lomborg have hit bullets.
Lomborg at second base with a 2-run double. Give him 2 runs batted in. Here's Jerry Martin, who flied to right his first time up. Curveball, driven deep but foul down the left field side. 1 strike to Martin. Phillies have taken a 2-0 lead here in the second inning. Candelaria's 1 strike pitch, fastball high and inside. It's 1-1. Following a strike to Martin. Here's Candelaria's stretch. 1-1 pitch, inside, ball 2. It's 2-1. Lomborg moves off second base with 1 out. Stretch by Candelaria, 2-1 pitch, curveball, pop foul behind the screen and out of play. 2-2 to Jerry Martin. Martin starting his first game. The Phillies' first series featured strictly right-hand pitching. Martin tires the waiting. He steps out. 2-0 Phils. We're playing in the second. 2-2 pitch to Martin. A high fastball. It's a full count to it. Three and 2 to Jerry Martin. John Candelaria gets the sign from Ed Ott. 3-2 pitch. Fastball is skied foul down the right field side, and that ball is back into the Phillies bullpen area and out of play. Stays 3-2 to Martin. Steve Carlton pitching tomorrow against Bert Blyleven. Final game of this series, and the Phillies will have a couple of off days before moving into Montreal for a weekend series, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Back home a week from tonight against the Chicago Cubs. Candelaria stretches, 3-2 pitch. Curveball, fouled out of play. Remains 3-2 to Martin. Lomborg at second base. He doubled in a pair of runs, 1 out. Candelaria stretches. 3-2 pitch. Fastball grounded sharply down the third base line. A fair ball headed toward the corner. Lomborg grounding third. He will score. Martin slides in safely with a double. And the Phillies lead it 3-0. So Jerry Martin doubles one down the left field line. Phil's now up 3-0. Martin gets his first hit of the year.
I'll tell you, 4 base hits in a row, and they have all been hit hard. I don't think I can never remember a ball game where the Phillies have hit this many balls hard in the whole game, let alone one inning. Leads off Candelaria.
Here's Larry Boa. He looped a double down the right field line his first time up. Jerry Martin, second base, 1 out. 3 runs across. Phil's up 3-0. Pitch to Boa, over for a strike call. Here's Candelaria's pitch to Boa. Swing a fly ball center field. Moreno backtracks a couple of steps. He makes the catch. Martin tags at second. He'll move to third after the catch. Boa hit it a long ways, but the straightaway center field. Caught by Moreno. Martin moves up to third. Well, with 2 outs, it'll bring up Mike Schmidt, who struck out his first time up. Phillies have 3 runs and 5 hits. 4 hits in a row in this inning by Boone, Sizemore, Lomborg, and Martin. Buccos swing their outfield way around to the left, playing Schmidt to pull, and he pops one foul, coming back and behind the Pirate dugout and out of play. 1 strike to Mike Schmidt. Schmidt almost looked like he was trying to go to right field. Parker is well off the line and right. Moreno way over in left center, and Robinson close to the line and left. Jerry Martin, third base, 2 outs. 3 runs are in. Phillies up 3-0. Candelaria winds. Here's the pitch. Fastball high for a ball, 1-1. Bruce Keeson is starting to throw in the Bucco bullpen. Candelaria's 1-1 pitch to Schmidt. Fastball high, ball 2, 2-1. Lined up by Candelaria, 2-1 pitch, curveball, fouled straight back. 2-2 to Schmidt. Of all the Phillies was the man who hit the ball the hardest yesterday against Bob Forge and Forge's no-hitter. 3 shots, but they were all caught. Fastball foul back, stays 2-2. Jerry Martin, third base, 2 outs. The 2-2 pitch to Schmidt. Fastball fouled back upstairs. Off to our right. Remains 2-2. Candelaria has thrown a lot of pitches in this inning. Here's the 2-2 pitch again to Schmidt. Fastball high and inside, a full count. Luzinski waiting on deck. John Candelaria delivers 3-2. Swing and a high pop-up. Foul might be playable. Head on, off with the mask. Right in front of the Phillies dugout, cannot make the play. There'll be no play. A tough play for Ed Ott. Right in front of the Phillies dugout, and it almost hit on top of the dugout, but just barely stayed alive, but I couldn't make the catch. No error on the play, and it remains 3-2 to Mike Schmidt. Martin at third base, 2 outs. 3 runs in, Phillies lead 3-zip. We're playing in the second. 3-2 pitch again. Swinging a miss. 15 out for the second time. Both of Candelaria's strikeouts have been on Schmidt. The Phillies scored 3 in the inning on 4 hits, no errors, and 1 left. And at the end of 1.5, Phil's 3, Buccos nothing. Bottom half of the second inning, Willie Stargell to lead off for the Buccos. Stargell hitting .333. Hit 1 home run this year and has knocked in 2 runs. Wind up by Lomborg, and the pitch to Stargell is over for a strike call. Stargell will be followed by Rennie Stennett and then Ed Ott. Here's the 1-strike pitch to Willie. High fly ball, center field. Gary Mannix moving a few steps to his right. He waits, puts it away, and Stargell is out 1 down. We'll bring on Rennie Stennett. Stennett batting only .167. Still bothered by that right ankle. He had surgery, the ankle injury last year, and never has really regained full speed.
He has it heavily bandaged. It's the leg that he pushes off on when he's hitting, and must really be affecting his stroke.
Pitch to Stennett is low for a ball. Rennie, of course, is a guy that the Pirates call on for some lumber. Pitch to him, swing and a pop foul out of play. Hit .336 last year. 1 out, no base runners, bottom of the second. Phillies lead 3-0. The 1-1 pitch to Stennett. Look out, fastball inside. It's 2-1. Here's the 2-1 pitch to Rennie. Chases a low breaking ball and misses it. 2-2. Lomborg's 2-2 pitch. Swing and a line drive to right field. Base hit. Gary Martin gets it back into the infield. Rennie Stennett has the second hit given up by Lomborg. He's a base runner with 1 out. That'll bring up Ed Ott. Out to catcher, batting .158. Ott has been sharing the catching duties along with Matty Van Gielen, who was picked up by the Buccos from Oakland. Duffy Dyer is still out on the disabled list. fractured thumb. At first base and 1 out. Lombard stretches and the pitch to Ott. Swing and a line drive center field. Maddox, fine running catch. Throw to first base, and Stennett gets back in time. The ball gets away from Cardinal, and Stennett moves up to second. Be an error on Gary Maddox as the throw hit the base runner, Rennie Stennett, and carried him away from Cardinal. So Stennett moves up to second on the throwing error. Maddox had a shot at a double play, but his throw hit Rennie Stennett as he was retreating back to first base. 2 down. That'll bring on Phil Garner.
One of those errors by an outfielder you can't do a thing about. You throw in there, try for the double play, and he hits the base runner. It's just one of those things.
Hard to believe that this fellow's hitting only 120. Phil Garner, he wore the Phillies out last year. Pitch to him. Swing, fly ball to center field. Maddox drifting back right near the rim of the warning track, makes the catch. Well hit by Garner, but caught by Maddox, who makes all 3 putouts in the inning. No runs, 1 hit, 1 Philly error, and 1 left. And at the end of 2, the Phils lead the Buccos 3-0. Now it's time for a tasty break. Buckner, Manny Trio, Big Dave Kingman and company, and all the Chicago Cubs move to Veterans Stadium when the Phillies return home a week from tonight. The Cubs will be in on the 24th, 25th, and 26th against the Chicago Cubs. A reminder that Monday night's game will start at 8:35, Tuesday and Wednesday 7:35. Then batting glove weekend with the San Diego Padres Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, the 28th, 29th, and 30th. All youngsters 14 and under will get an autographed batting glove on Friday night, the 28th, autographed by Mike Schmidt. On the 29th by Gary Maddox, and on the 30th by Greg Luzinski. Batting glove weekend, plan to be on air. Third inning, Phillies lead 3-0. For more play-by-play, here's Andy Musser.
Thank you, Harry, and Greg Luzinski is at the plate. Candelario winds, and here's a pop foul out of play behind the plate, strike 1. Greg walked his first time up, the only walk handed out by the left-hander tonight. As Harry mentioned earlier, he is always right around the plate. He was one of the stingiest pitchers in the National League in issuing walks a year ago. Tall left-hander winds. Here's the pitch to the ball. He waved through it at the strike. He tried to check his swing and couldn't. Candelaria ahead of Luzinski. No balls and 2 strikes. Candyman winds, and here is a pitch outside, 1-2. Last year, the ball hit 2 home runs here at Three Rivers Stadium. Pitch on the way to Greg, and a fastball misses outside, 2-2. Luzinski to be followed by Cardinal and Maddox. Phillies ahead on the board, 3-0. The bottom third of the lineup really coming through for the Phillies. Swing and a foul back to the screen to Greg. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Luzinski a .300 lifetime average against Pirate pitching. Last year, Candelaria finished only 6 games all season long. He already has 1 so far this year, throwing a 7-hitter at the Cubs in his first start. Greg got jammed and sends a foul ball down the third base side, and the count holds at 2-2. Chilly night in Pittsburgh. The Phillies have been playing their last couple of games in very cold weather. Here's the 2-2 to Luzinski, high and outside, and we've got a full count. Cincinnati leads the Dodgers 2-0. That score at the end of 1.5 innings. Earlier today, San Francisco defeated Atlanta 5-1. Swing and a miss. The ball strikes out on a high fastball. Luzinski, the first out of the third inning, as Candelaria picks up his 3rd strikeout. And here's Jose Cardinal. He broke his bat and grounded out to second base in his first try. Cardinal into the starting lineup for the Phillies for the first time tonight. Candy winds, and here's the first pitch. It's a curveball, low, ball 1. Tomorrow night, the Phillies will see Bert Blyleven for the first time. Pirates picked him up from the American League during the offseason. Candelaria misses way outside, 2-0 to Cardinal. And left-hander Steve Carlton will pitch for the Phillies. The Orioles lead the Yankees 1-0 at the end of an inning tonight. Candy Wines, here's the 2-0 pitch. Pop-up, shallow right field. Parker not moving too much for the ball, now coming in a few steps, and he gloves it for the out. Cardinal on a very high ball to right field for the second out of the inning. 2 outs and nobody on, and the batter is Gary Maddox. Gary popped up the shortstop in his first try. Candelaria ready to go. Here's the pitch to Maddox, and a tie outside, ball 1. Every time Gary has had a hit this year, he's come up with another one. He's got all 2-hit games so far, 5 of them. The 1-0 pitch, swing and a miss. 1-1 to Gary Maddox. Phillies put together 4 consecutive hits last inning, starting with Boone's single. Then Sizemore singled, Lonborg doubled in 2 runs, and Jerry Martin doubled in another one. The 1-1 pitch to Maddox is off the handle of the bat, pop foul, back out of play. 1-2 to Maddox. So the Phillies have 5 hits tonight, and 3 of them have been doubles. The other was a first-inning pop double down the right field line by Boa. One and two to Maddox. Candelaria rocks into the motion, and here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. So Candelaria gets 2 of his 3 outs in the inning on strikeouts, and he's got 4 for the game as the Phillies go down in order at the end of 2.5. Phillies lead the ball game 3-0. John Candelaria leads off the inning for the Pirates and sends a ground ball to Sizemore, who makes the play to first, and Candelaria is out. First out of the 3rd inning for the Pirates, and Frank Tavares will bat. This guy doesn't have a stolen base yet. The Pirates have been trailing in so many of their ball games, they haven't really had a chance to run. The Pirates last year at this time were off and winging. This year so far, they have only 4 stolen bases. A year ago for the season, they had 260 to lead the National League. Tavares lined out to Mike Schmidt in his first at bat. Lonborg winds, and the pitch to him is a fastball outside low, ball 1. The Pirates have 2 hits off Lonnie thus far. Single by Moreno in the first, single by Stennett in the second. The 1-0 pitch, swing and a miss, and Tavares was way out in front. 1 ball and 1 strike. Omar Moreno waiting on deck. Those respect Tavares' speed. Larry Bowe in a step or so at shortstop from where he might normally be playing. Same for Sizemore, and here's an attempted bunt, and it's a strike. Tavares missed the ball, but it was over the plate for a strike, and now he's walking back to the on-deck circle to ask Omar Moreno for the pine tar rag. A ball and 2 strikes to Tavares. This slump that the Pirates are in hitting-wise actually has extended ever since the start of spring training. They never really hit very well in Florida this year. 1-2 pitch on the way to Tavares. It's inside, a ball, 2-2. They've had just 1 good hitting game this season. That was on Saturday when they beat the Cubs 13-10. Lonnie winds. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He strikes him out. Lonborg picking up his first strikeout. Tavares goes down swinging for the second out of the 3rd inning, and here's Moreno. Moreno dropped the line drive in front of Jerry Martin in right field in his first at bat, and when Martin couldn't hang on to the ball, Moreno wound up at second base. A single on an error ruled on the play. Moreno left-handed batter. Lonnie winds, and the pitch to him is a slider. It's low, ball 1. Lonnie worked 5 innings in his first start this year, gave up 4 hits and 4 runs to Montreal, including a pair of homers. Moreno fouls one back out of play. 1 ball, 1 strike. The Pirates with a 3-6 record, and they have lost 6 of their last 7 games. They had a 5-game losing streak until that big bust out at Chicago. Moreno runs up as if to bunt, doesn't get it, and the pitch is called a ball. 2-1 the count. The amazing that this batting slump of theirs extends nearly up and down the lineup. Only Bill Robinson and to some degree Willie Stargell have been hitting. Here's Lundborg's 2-1 pitch. Just a bit high. 3-1 the count. Two outs, nobody on base as the Pirates bat in the third. Here's the 3-1 pitch. It's high outside, ball 4. And Lundborg has given up his first walk of the game. Moreno at first with 2 away, and it brings up Dave Parker.
This club will steal the base, even though they're 2 or 3 runs back. You know, you're a little reluctant to run at that point, but I think Moreno might go if he can get a good jump.
Well, as we mentioned, Moreno has half of their steals this year. He's got 2 of the 4. There he goes. Here's the pitch. It's a breaking ball and a long drive. Deep to right field. It is gone. He hit that one into the lower deck, which is a long way back, and the Pirates are in the ball game. It's now Phillies 3, Buccos 2.
Dave Parker's second home run, his 4th run batted in. He's only hitting .235 at the start of this game. You knew he was going to break out sometime. No doubt about that one. It was a home run right off the bat.
A 1-run ball game in Pittsburgh following the home run by Dave Parker with 2 down. And so the base on balls hurts Lonnie. Bill Robinson coming up. Robbie batting at .320, and he grounded to shortstop in his first time up. Lundborg winds, pitch to the right-handed batter. Hard ground ball. 2 hops to Boa at shortstop. Larry guns him out, and the inning is over, but not before the Pirates climb back in. 2 runs on the Parker homer. 1 hit, nobody left on base. At the end of 3, Phillies 3, Pirates 2.
This is KYW 1060 Philadelphia. It's partly cloudy and 49 degrees on Independence Mall. KYW News Time, 9:32.
Here come the batters who have done the damage for the Phillies so far, as the bottom third of the batting order will lead it off in the 4th inning. It's Boone, Sizemore, and Lundborg, and they all had hits their last time up. Boone started it after Maddox had popped out. Boone got a single to center field. So here's the right-handed batter facing the left-handed pitching of John Candelaria, who winds, and the pitch is on the way. A curveball, low, ball 1. 1-0 the count to Bob Boone. Candy winds, and here's his next offering. It's a pop-up. It's in foul ground behind the plate. Ott may have room. He comes back. He is out of room as it drops on top of the dugout of the Phillies along the third base side. American League Finals from this afternoon. Oakland defeated Minnesota 7-2. Pete Broberg the winner, and Paul Thormisgaard the loser. Detroit knocked off Chicago 10-9. John Hiller the winner, and Willoughby the losing pitcher. Rusty Staub had a grand slam home run in that game for the Tigers. Kansas City over Toronto by a 3-1 score. Next pitch on the way to Boone, and it's a looper into shallow right. Coming hard is Parker, and he gets there. Running catch by Parker on the looper to right field, and Boone is out. 1 out in the 4th inning, and Sizemore will bat. Boston beat Milwaukee today 9-2. Mike Torres picking up his second victory for the Red Sox. And the losing pitcher was Stein. Here's Sizemore, who singled hard down the left field line in his first at bat. Candy winds, and the pitch to Sizemore inside, ball 1. One nothing pitch on the way. Size bluffs a bunt, and it's a called strike. Well, he got Garner's attention. He was playing back, but he came in a hurry from third base. 1 ball and 1 strike. Jim Lundborg, who has knocked in 2 runs, is waiting on deck. Sizemore takes a strike on the outside corner at the knees. 1-2 the count. Phillies lead the Pirates 3-2. Here's Candelaria's 1-2 pitch, and he got jammed and grounded a ball behind Coach Billy DeMars at third base. And I think Sizemore may have broken his bat. coming back to the dugout to get a new stick. Bert Blyleven tomorrow night for the Pittsburgh Pirates. And left-hander Steve Carlton for the Phillies. Game will start earlier tomorrow. We'll be on the air at 7:30. The 1-2 pitch to Sizemore. He reaches for a ball and taps it towards second base, fielded by Stennett, and he throws him out. Sizemore away out of the strike zone to go for that one, and it's the second out of the inning. And the batter will be Lonborg. At Los Angeles tonight, the Reds have scored 4 times in the third inning. They lead the Dodgers now 6-0 in the first meeting of the year between these two Western Division powerhouses. And Charlie Huff is pitching in relief now for the Dodgers. Curveball to Lonborg is over for a strike. Lonnie 2 for 2 this season. Got a single against the Expos, doubled in 2 runs previously tonight. Here's a check swing ball that goes off the handle of his bat, and it's a strike. Lonnie wasn't swinging, but the ball nubbed the handle of the bat. 0-2 the count. Candelaria into the motion, and here's the pitch. Curveball, swing and a miss. He strikes out Lonborg. Candelaria picks up his 5th strikeout as the Phillies go down in order in the 4th at the end of 3.5. Phillies 3, Pirates 2.
Of course, we'll be keeping close watch on this. We'll bring you further details just as soon as they're received. KYW News Time, 9:38. Now back to Pittsburgh in the ball game.
Stargell hurt a great deal of the time last year, and it really hurt the Pirates, who nevertheless had a fine season. 1-2 pitch to Stargell. Fouled away down the left field side. Stargell faced Lonborg only 3 times last year and got 1 hit. 1-2, the count to Willie Stargell, left-handed batter. Lonnie ready, here's the pitch. Just off the outside corner, the count 2-2. He didn't miss by much. Old friend Joe Lynette coaching at third base for the Pirates. Al Munchak at first. Lynette sports a new number this year. He had to give his 35 back to Manny Sanguillen. Outside, and we've got a full count. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Stargell. Willie, the longtime team captain of the Pittsburgh Pirates. Lonborg ready. Here's the full count pitch. He walked him. Missed it high and outside on a fastball, and Stargell is at first. That's the second walk given out by Lonborg, and of course the other one scored. Moreno ahead of Parker's home run. Here's Rennie Stennett. He singled to right field in his first at bat.
The home run ball has really hurt Lonborg this year. He's given up 3, all of them 2-run homers. We'd like to get a double play here out of Rennie Stennett.
And the pitch on the way to Rennie is a pop fly down the right field side. It's in foul ground. Cardinal giving chase, but it drops into the third row. Well, it is a great situation for a double play. Stargell is not much of a runner at first, and Stennett, with that bad ankle, can't go very well. Stennett was saying before the ball game that he finds it more difficult to play on grass than it is for him to play on the artificial turf, which he had felt would be just the opposite, and that's the reason he stayed out of that game at Chicago yesterday. 1 strike to count to the right-handed batter, Rennie Stennett. Lonnie stretches, checks Stargell. Here's the pitch. It's fouled back out of play.
I always thought that Chicago infield was dirt. Technicality, Andy.
Well, he plays deep at times, right? 0-2 the count on Stennett. Lonnie ready to go. And the pitch on the way to the second baseman is fouled behind the plate. 0-2 the count on Stennett. Left-handed batting Ed Ott, the catcher, waiting on deck. One of the Pirate catchers, Duffy Dyer, is on the disabled list and will be for a while yet. And that's why they reacquired Manny Sanguillen. But defensively, the Pirates hurt behind the plate. The 0-2 pitch. Ground ball, hard hit to third base. Schmidt gloves it. Goes over to Sizemore. 1. To Cardinal. Double play. Well, that's just what Rich was talking about, and the pitcher got his best friend.
And and you could really see that Rennie Stennett is laboring, trying to run on that right ankle. Must be tough to play under those conditions. It hurts your running, it hurts your fielding, hurts your hitting.
Sort of like what happened to Bill Buckner with that bad ankle that he was battling all of last season, and he's not 100% yet. Now we've got 2 outs with nobody on base, and here's Ed Ott.
Bob Boone had to go into the dugout, I guess, some kind of equipment repair.
Booney heading back out behind the plate right now. So the batter is Ott, who lined out to Gary Maddox in his first try. Phillies lead the game 3-2. 2 Pirates out in the 4th inning. The pitch to the left-handed batter. Line drive center field. Maddox coming. He tries to glove it, and it can't. It rolls all the way to the wall. Ott is going to round second and head to third base. Ott will go into third standing. That'll be a triple for Ed Ott. Maddox came in, tried to glove the ball, low to the ground. It skipped by him, and the ball hopped to the wall in a hurry.
Good thing the ball hit the wall so hard it bounced a long way back, and it's a good thing. Well, Ott might have been thinking about inside the park home run because Luzinski was underway trying to run it down. Maddox finally beat everybody to the ball. That's the kind of a base hit you get the inside the Parker.
The double play really looks big now as Lonborg started this inning with a walk to Stargell, but Stennett grounded into a double play, and so Ott to third base with 2 down as Phil Garner comes to the plate. Garner, right-handed batter who had 29 hits versus the Phillies last year to head the all-enemy list. The pitch to him is over for a strike. He batted .367 against the Phillies with 4 home runs and 18 RBIs. And only George Foster with 19 runs batted in knocked in more. The pitch to him, swing and a miss, and the bat skips away from him and goes all the way to the Phillies dugout. And Garner's going to have to go into enemy ground to reclaim his lumber. Somebody tosses it back out of the dugout. 0-2 the count on Garner. After the injury to Stennett last year, Garner wound up playing second base at the tail end of the season. Now the Phillies have a 1-run lead on the scoreboard, and they have out-hit the Pirates by 5-4. Lonborg working from the stretch. The pitch to Garner. Ground ball tapped to second base. Easy play for Sizemore. He throws to first, and the inning is over. Pirates in the 4th. No runs, 1 hit, 1 man left. At the end of 4, Phillies lead it 3-2. Into the 5th inning, here's Rich Ashburn.
Okay, Andy, and this is it, fans. Time for another Daily News home run payoff, and now you can win even more money because every hit pays off. A single pays $20 plus 4 tickets to a future game. A double pays $50 plus tickets, and a triple pays $100 plus tickets. And you can still win $1,000 for a homer, $5,000 for a grand slam. Use the entry coupon appearing every day in the Daily News. The more times you enter, the better your chances. And remember now, every hit pays off. The Phillies leading in this game 3-2. We're in the top of the 5th inning. Phillies scored all 3 of their runs in the 2nd inning. A Boone single, a Sizemore single, a Lonborg double, and a Jerry Martin double. Plated all 3 runs. And Jerry Martin will lead off here in the 5th. He's swinging for Ronald R. Kirchhoff, Rodora Avenue, Reading, Pennsylvania, our Daily News payoff inning. Martin is 1 for 2 with a double and a run batted in. He's swinging for Ronald R. Kirchhoff in Reading, PA. Big John Candelaria. And time is called as catcher Ed Ott, I believe, is retrieving a baseball that was loose behind home plate. Pirates scored their 2 runs in the 3rd on Dave Parker's 2-run homer. Pitch to Martin, a pop fly, shallow center field. Tavares, the shortstop, back, makes the catch. 1 down on 1 pitch. We'll send 4 tickets along to Ronald R. Kirchhoff in Reading, PA. And the batter, Larry Boa. Boa is 1 for 2 with a double. He's swinging for Gerald Erisman Jr., Keystone Street in Philadelphia. Boa batting right-handed against Candelaria. Takes the curveball over, strike 1. Boa swinging for Gerald Erisman Jr. in Philadelphia in our Daily News payoff inning. Boa, ground ball hit hard to Tavares. He bobbles, picks it up, fires the first too late. The ball gets by Cargo, bounces right back to him, and it's going to be an error on shortstop Frank Tavares. He's been having his problems fielding the ball. So Boa's on first, 1 down. We'll send 4 tickets along to Gerald Erisman Jr. in Philadelphia. Error on Tavares. That's his 5th error in 6 ball games. Here's Mike Schmidt, who's had a tough night. He struck out twice. Swinging for Tyrone Jubilee, North 21st Street in Philadelphia. Pitch to Schmidt, swing and a miss, strike 1. Schmidt swinging the bat for Tyrone Jubilee in Philadelphia. Boa's on first, 1 down. Phillies lead 3-2, top of the 5th. Strike 1 to count on Mike Schmidt. Boa with a good lead, and Candelaria goes to first to chase him back. Candelaria has been striking Schmidt out mostly on the fastball. He has a good fastball and a good curve. I think he's only thrown 1 changeup tonight. That was to Gary Maddox. Boa with a long lead again off first base. Candelaria sets the pitch. Inside with a fastball, and the count is 1-1 to Schmidt. Well, any base hit pays off in this inning. Boa's on first on the error. Ball 1, strike 1 to Schmidt. Candelaria sets again. Nope, goes to first, too late. Candelaria has just a fair move to first base. Ready to pitch. There goes Boa. Here's a fly ball hit well to right field. Parker going back, still going. Makes the catch, a running catch on the warning track to take extra bases away from Mike Schmidt. Good play out there by Dave Parker. We'll send 4 tickets along to Tyrone Jubilee in Philadelphia. And the batter will be Greg Lazinski. Boa still on first. 2 out. Lazinski swinging the bat for Ida Knowles, Ludlow Street in Philadelphia. Dave Parker made a nice running catch right on the warning track in deep right field. Lazinski is walked and struck out. He's 0 for 1, batting .280. Ball with a long lead again. Candelaria's pitch. Long drive, left field. This ball ought to leave the ballpark. It is a home run for Greg Lazinski. And $1,000 for Ida Knowles. In our Daily News home run payoff, the Phillies lead it 5-2. Lazinski with his first home run of the season, scoring Boa ahead of him, giving the Phillies a 5-2 lead. And Ida Knowles at Ludlow Street in Philadelphia, $1,000. Both of those runs are unearned, but they're on the board. Here's Cardinal batting for Russell S. Thomas, Raymond Street in Philadelphia. Cardinal is 0 for 2 in the night. So the Phillies have opened up a 3-run lead again, leading by 5-2. Pitch to Cardinal is high. The count is 1-1. Cardinal swinging for Russell Thomas in Philadelphia in our Daily News payoff inning that has already paid off $1,000 this inning. Pitch to Cardinal is fouled back. Ball 1, strike 2 the count. So the Bull getting his first homer, his 5th and 6th run batted in. And he hit that one, a towering drive to left center field. 1-2 pitch. Pop foul right side, out of play. Cardinal stays alive at 1 ball, 2 strikes. Phillies have a hard time winning in this park, but they're leading 5-2 here in the top of the fifth. Tavares' error very costly to Candelaria in this inning. Cardinal has to duck out of the way of a high inside pitch, and the count goes to 2-2. Cardinal swinging for Russell Thomas, Philadelphia, in our Daily News payoff inning. Pitch on the way is fouled back. Phillies are getting some base hits off Candelaria. That home run by Lazinski to 6. Two pitch. Changeup is low. Full count to Cardinal. He gets on, Maddox will bat. 3-2 pitch by Candelaria. And outside, ball 4, Candelaria walks, will send 4 tickets to a future game to Russell Thomas in Philadelphia. Gary Maddox coming to the plate. Will bat for Charles A. Spotwood, Turner Avenue in Cinnaminson, New Jersey. Maddox is officially 0 for 2, hitting at .345 now. Cardinal's on first, 2 outs. Maddox batting in our Daily News payoff inning for Charles A. Spotwood in Cinnaminson, New Jersey. There goes Cardinal. Throw to second base by Ott is in time, and Cardinal is out on a close play. That'll end the inning, but 2 runs, 1 hit, 1 error, nobody left on. Pirates batting in the bottom of the 5th. They trail the Phillies 5-2.
Chrysler LeBaron's a good combination. It's a car sized for today's living yet loaded with luxury. It gives you your money's worth of sensibly sized style. In your choice of 3 models, an unstylish 2-door, a classic 4-door.
Well, the Phillies have a great new giveaway item for everyone 19 years of age or younger when they play the New York Mets on Sunday, May 7th at Veterans Stadium. Red and white gym shorts with Phillies on the front are a great-looking item that every young Phillies fan will want to own. 3 Phillies gym shorts for everyone 19 or under. Sunday, May 7th, when the Phillies play the Mets at the Vet game, time 1:35. John Candelaria leading off here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Takes the pitch outside, ball 1. He grounded out his first time up. Tavares and Moreno here in the bottom of the 5th. The Phillies with a 5-2 lead. Candelaria fouls the pitch back, and the count is 1-1. Cool night here at Three Rivers Stadium. Candelaria takes high, ball 2. Lonborg has walked 2, struck out 1. Pitch on the way is high and outside, ball 3. He doesn't want to walk Candelaria. He walked Moreno in the 3rd inning, and Parker followed with a home run. Here's a called strike. Full count to Candelaria. Candelaria doesn't have any hits this season, but he can hit the ball, and he fouls one off out of play on the left side. Count stays at 3-2. Lonborg's pitch. Losting, ball 4. Candelaria with a leadoff walk here in the 5th inning, and the batter will be the leadoff hitter, Frank Tavares. And the Phillies bullpen is starting to stir a little bit. 3rd walk given up by Lonborg. Frank Tavares, the batter, he is lined out and struck out. He's officially 0 for 2. Off to a very slow start, hitting 200 right on the nose. Pitch to him, called strike. Candelaria takes a long lead. They're not holding him on. Pitch to Tavares, strike 2 called. Lonborg ahead of Tavares, 0-2. the bottom of the fifth. The Phillies lead 5-2. Candelaria's on first, nobody out. Two strikes to count on right-hand batter Frank Taveras. He steps out of the batter's box. And we're ready to go. Lonborg gets his sign. Two-strike pitch. Low and inside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Well, the Pirates manager, Chuck Tanner, figures this Pirate team will be a contender all the way. He's not discouraged by the slow start. Taveras takes high and inside. 2-2 the count. Infield at double play depth. Lonborg out of the stretch, checks the runner. Here's the pitch. Missed. Ball 3. The count is full. Let's pause for station identification along the Phillies Baseball Network.
At 10 o'clock, this is KYW Philadelphia. AccuWeather says it'll be cool, clear, and chilly tonight with a low 39. Tomorrow, sunshine followed by increasing cloudiness. The high 59 is 48 degrees and clear in Independence Mall.
Lonborg with a 3-2 count on Frank Taveras. Ready to go. The pitch. Fly ball, shallow left field. Lazinski coming hard, still coming. Ball makes the catch. Candelaria hustling back towards first, and he beats the relay throw by Lazinski. Candelaria evidently thought that ball was going to drop in. He was almost all the way down to second. But Lonborg gets Taveras on a shallow fly ball to left. One down, the batter will be center fielder Omar Moreno. He has doubled and walked and scored a run. Moreno's only batting .231. Lonborg set. Pitch to Moreno. Ground ball towards second. Sizemore tags Candelaria, goes to first, double play. Oh, boy, good double play executed by Sizemore. And that'll end the inning. No runs, no hits, nobody left on. At the end of 5, the Phillies lead the Pirates 5-2. And now it's time for a tasty break. We're in the top of the 6th inning. Gary Maddox will lead off for the Phillies. He'll be followed by Bob Boone and Ted Sizemore. Maddox was the batter when Cardinal was thrown out trying to steal second base in the 5th inning. Maddox on the night is 0 for 2. He's popped out and struck out. Phillies lead in the ball game 5-2, top of the 6th inning. Lonborg trying to win his first game of the season tonight. Candelaria trying to win his second. First pitch to Maddox. Pop foul out of play over the Pirates dugout. Phillies scored 3 runs in the 2nd inning. On the bottom of the order, Boone, Sizemore, and Lonborg. 3 consecutive base hits. Lonborg was a double to drive in 2 runs. Jerry Martin scored Lonborg with a double. And a 2-run homer by Lazinski in the 5th. Maddox takes outside, and the count is 1-1. Pirates scored their 2 runs in the bottom of the 3rd on a 2-run homer to right field by Dave Parker. A 1-1 pitch by Candelaria. High and outside. 2-1 the count. One pitch. Strike called outside corner. Slight altercation in the stands below it. One way to keep warm on a night like this, 2-2 pitch, fouled away. balls, 2 strikes to Maddox, leading off for the Phillies, 6th inning. Pitch to him inside. Maddox checked his swing. Full count to Gary Lee. Maddox batting .345. 3-2 pitch. Ground ball to the shortstop Tavares. He gloves. Fires low to first. It gets away from Stargell, and Maddox is safe. That's going to be another throwing error on Frank Tavares. His 6th error in the last 16. So Maddox is on first on the second throwing error by Frank Tavares. Nobody out. The batter's catcher Bob Boone, who singled, flied out, and scored a run. Bob is 1 for 2, batting .176. Tavares had a lot of time to make that throw. It was a routine ground ball, but he threw it low. Stargell couldn't hang on. Each team with 2 errors in the game. Infield at double play depth as Candelaria pitches out of the stretch. First pitch to Boone is outside, ball 1. Steve Carlton will crank it up tomorrow night against right-hander Bert Blyleven. Maddox with a long lead. Pitch to Boone, strike called. Good fastball. 1-1 the count to Boone. Richie Hebner and Bate McBride both out of the lineup tonight, getting a rest against the left-hander. Pitch to Booney. Fly ball, left field, routine play for Bill Robinson. Robinson makes the catch. Boone is out, 1 down. Maddox back to first. Second baseman Ted Sizemore, the batter. Ted is 1 for 2 with a single and a run scored. Ted off to a slow start, batting .185. Maddox at first, 1 down. Candelaria checks the run of the pitch. Strike called on the curveball. Candelaria's had good control. He's only walked 1 batter. Here's the 1-strike pitch. Sizemore. Teddy, line drive. Base hit to left field. Bill Robinson plays the ball in, and the Phillies have runners on first and second, 1 out, as Sizemore gets his second hit of the game. Pitcher Jim Lomborg, the batter. Pirate manager Chuck Tanner is out talking to his pitcher, Candelaria. Gives him a little pat on the behind and heads back to the dugout. Pirates here will be looking for the bunt, probably. I doubt if Lomborg will bunt here with a 3-run lead, and he's already a double and rushing 2 runs. But we'll see. 2 on, 1 out. The pitch. Lomborg squares around the bunt. He takes the pitch. It's a called strike. Knowing the way the Phillies play, I would say that Lomborg will fake the bunt and swing. We'll see. Candelaria steps off the pitching rubber. Phil Garner, the third baseman, in very close. The pitch. Outside. Lomborg had squared around the bunt, but he took it. The count is 1-1. That's 0 for 2. Has to try it this time, Andy. 1-1 pitch. There it is, a swing. He squared around the bunt. He swung and fouled it off. It didn't work, however. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Lomborg. Maddox at second. Sizemore at first. 1 out. Candelaria looks Maddox back to second. Ready with a pitch. Bunted foul, and that'll be a strikeout.
We interrupt the Phillies-Pirates baseball game for these late developments on the explosion at the DuPont plant in Carneys Point, Salem County, New Jersey. A spokesman for Crozer Chester Hospital in Delaware County says they've been told they will receive at least 4 injured from the blast. No word yet on the condition. Salem County Memorial Hospital has been put on alert. The explosion ripped through the plant shortly after 9 tonight. State police spokesmen say buildings 10 miles from the site of the blast shook. Now back to the Phillies-Pirates baseball game.
We're in the 6th. 2 on, 2 out. Candelaria's pitch. Low with a fastball. Last 2 runs the Phillies scored on Lazinski's 2-run homer were both unearned. Lazinski's home run followed an error by Tavares. Pitch to Martin. Curveball misses. Just misses. 2-0 the count. Candelaria, I believe, thought it should have been a strike. 2-0 the count to Martin. Phillies trying to get some more runs here in the 6th. 2-0 pitch. Martin takes the curveball over for a called strike, and the count is 2-1. Candelaria throwing a lot of curveballs tonight. There's a fastball popped up in the infield. Tavares, the shortstop back, has the beat on the ball. Puts it away. Martin is out, and that'll end the inning. No runs, 1 hit, 1 error, 2 left on. Pirates batting in the home 6th. They trail 5-2. Bottom of the 6th, Dave Parker leading off for Pittsburgh. First pitch to him is inside, ball 1. Parker accounted for both Pirate runs with a 2-run homer in the 3rd. He's 1 for 2 in the night. And the pitch to him is outside, ball 2. Dodgers in Cincinnati. The Reds are winning in that game 7-0 in the 4th inning. Big series out of the West Coast. 2-0 pitch to Parker. Ground ball up the middle, base hit. For Dave Parker, coming out of his slump tonight, with a home run and a single now and 3 times at bat. And the Pirates have a runner on first, nobody out. The batter's the cleanup hitter, Bill Robinson, who has grounded out twice to Bowen. Robinson is 0 for 2. Cardinals 2, the Mets nothing at the end of 1 inning. Giants beat the Braves 5-1 this afternoon. Robinson batting .296 with Parker on first, nobody out. Ron Borg out of the strike to pitch. Strike called as Robinson went to bunt the ball. Parker leads off first. Infield hoping for the double play ball. Ron Borg's pitch. Grounded foul. Past third, 2 strikes on Robinson. Tough hitters up here in this inning for the Pirates. Parker is already singled. Robinson, the batter. Stargell follows, and then Stennett. Phillies lead 5-2, bottom of the 6th inning. Ron Reed throwing in the Phillies bullpen now. 2-strike pitch to Bill Robinson. Line drive, left field, foul. Right into the Pirate bullpen. Robinson hit it hard, but he pulled it foul. Robinson coming off a grand slam home run in that Chicago Cubs series. Count holds at 2 strikes to Robinson. Ron Borg ready. Pitch in the way, low and outside. 1-2 the count. Phillies play Robinson as a pull hitter, and they play him deep. Pitch in the way, fly ball, left field. Hit pretty well, but Lazinski back to the warning track. Puts it away. Robinson is out, one down. Robinson got under the ball a little bit. Still got it to the warning track in left field. One out, and the batter is Willie Stargell. Stargell has flied out to deep center and walked. Officially 0 for 1, batting .316. Cleveland beat the Texas Rangers 6-0. The Rangers having some problems now. Stargell takes a called strike. John Matlack lost that game. Waits won it for Cleveland. Pruitt hit a 3-run homer for Cleveland. Strike one to Stargell. Parker leads off first to pitch. A little bit low. 1-1 the count. On board ready. Pitch in the way. Swing and a miss. What a touch. Feel the wind from the swing of that bat right up here in the booth. Cold wind blowing in here from someplace. 1-2 pitch. Struck him out. Struck him out on a slider. 2 outs. That's Monborg's second strikeout. So Parker's still on first 2 outs, and the batter, second baseman Rennie Stennett, who's 1 for 2 with a single. Stennett batting .192. Phillies leading 5-2 here, bottom of the 6th. Monborg's pitch. Stennett fouls it back, strike one. Phillies trying to win a ball game in this fuss. They have a lot of trouble winning here. As Harry told you earlier, they won 1 game here last season. Stennett fouls this one back, strike 2. Steve Carlton was the winner of that game. They won last year. Carlton will be pitching tomorrow night against Bert Blyleven. Phillies haven't seen Blyleven yet. 2 strikes to count. Stennett takes called strike 3. Good pitch outside corner, and that'll retire the side. No runs, 1 hit, 1 left on. At the end of 6 full innings, the Phillies lead the Pirates 5-2.
I just saved myself a trip to the bank and a trip to the post office.
Well, the Phillies have a terrific offer for all women. It's not Harry Tellis, but it's the canvas tote bag. On Sunday, May 14th, the Phillies will play the Cincinnati Reds. And the added attraction, all women will receive a free canvas Phillies tote bag, perfect for all occasions. Free Phillies canvas tote bag for all women on Sunday, May 14th, when the Phillies play the Cincinnati Reds. It's at game time, 1:35. 7th inning baseball. And we will go to Andy Musser. Andy.
Harry actually would like to come in and say a few words right here, Rich. Thank you. Larry Bohr will lead it off. The paid crowd tonight, a rather slim 7,343. Very chilly here at Three Rivers Stadium. Tough night to watch a ball game. Boa, Schmidt, and Luzinski to bat for the Phils in the 7th inning against John Candelaria, who doesn't have the reputation of going the distance very often. In fact, he did it only 6 times all last season. He's done it once this year. So here's Boa, who's been on base 2 of the 3 times he has batted. He popped a double down the right field line in his first at bat, then flied out to center field, and then got on base on an error by Severus, one of 2 the Pirates shortstop has made tonight. The Phillies have had 7 hits off left-hander John Candelaria, who winds, and the pitch to Boa is a breaking ball, fly ball, very deep into left center field. Robinson getting over, and he one-hands it for the out. Boa is out on 1 pitch to start the 7th inning. Boa retired, and here is Mike Schmidt. Candelaria has struck out 6 tonight. Schmidt has been the victim twice. But the last time up, he was robbed. Hit the ball hard to right field, and Parker went back and hauled it down. Schmidt was robbed of a home run yesterday by the elements in St. Louis. Here's another fly ball to right field, close to the line. Parker's not going to get this one. It drops in. Here goes Schmidt to second base. Here comes Parker's throw. He can fire, and the ball gets away from Stennett at second base. Schmidt into second with a stand-up double, and Parker uncorked a pretty good throw, but Stennett could not hold him. I don't think they would have had him at second anyway.
Pretty good backup down there by Omar Moreno coming all the way in from center field. Good thing somebody was there, because Schmidt would have taken an extra base as the ball got away from Stennett. There you saw the Pirate defense shifted all the way around to the left side for Schmidt, and he's trying to loop one into shallow right field.
Now Luzinski at the plate, and they're going to give him an intentional walk with 1 out and first base open. Bull, of course, hit a home run his last time up. It's only the 3rd home run he's ever hit here in Pittsburgh. So Greg Luzinski to be given the intentional walk. It'll be the 2nd time he has been put on base tonight. And they will deal with Jose Cardinal. Runners at first and second with 1 out. Phillies lead the game 5-2. Cardinal is 0 for 2. He walked his last time up and then was out trying to steal. Now the Phillies are sending Richie Hebner out of the dugout, and he is going to run for Greg Luzinski at first base. Hebner, the ex-Pirate, the runner at first base for the Bull. And the Pirate fans remember Richie Hebner. And even before the announcement, they let loose with some noise.
I'd be willing to bet you that's the only time that Richie Hebner has ever pinch run for anybody in the Major League.
And what better place to do it than right here in Pittsburgh? And they put his old uniform number up. I guess he wore 20. It says number 20 out on the board, Richie Hebner. He's wearing 18 with the Phillies. Here's a breaking pitch to Cardinal, and it's outside ball 1. Schmidt at second with the double, and that means Mike has hit safely in every Phillies game, with the exception of yesterday's when Bob Forsch no-hit the Phils. Candelaria stretches. Here is a gapper in left center field. It's going to drop for extra bases. Coming on around to score is Schmidt. And being held at third base is Hebner. On into second base with the double is Cardinal, and the Phillies pick up another run to lead it, 6-2.
That's Jose's first base hit. He couldn't have picked a better spot for it. A gapper into left center. He'll get a run batted in, his 2nd of the year, but you want to remember he's been playing with a bad left hand. He got that one, though, a line shot into the gap in left center.
And Cardinal with his first Phillies RBI. Now with another base open here with runners at second and third, they're going to walk Gary Maddox. Well, this is as roughly as the Phillies have treated John Candelaria in a long, long time. They didn't beat him all last year. In fact, they've only ever beaten him 1 time.
We interrupt the Phillies-Pirates ball game for the late developments on the explosion and fire at the DuPont Chemical Plant in Carneys Point, Salem County, New Jersey. A nurse in the emergency room of Salem County Memorial Hospital says they've been put on alert to receive 4 people injured in the blast. Crozer Chester Hospital in Delaware County has been told to expect the same amount. Still, none of the hospitals have actually received any of the injured. Now we return to the Phillies-Pirates baseball game.
Maddox at first with 1 out. Phillies with a 4-run lead, 6-2. Candelaria will work from the stretch. Pitch on the way to Boone. A pop fly off the first base side. Foul out of play. Strike 1. The Phillies with 6 runs and 9 hits off Candelaria. He has walked 4 and struck out 6. Now he's going to use the full windup. The 1-strike pitch to Boone. Fly ball down the left field line, very close to the line. It is going foul. It had home run range, but it was foul by 20 feet. No balls and 2 strikes on Boone. Phillies didn't do much hitting at all in the last couple of games at St. Louis. Of course, they were no hit yesterday, and they won Saturday's game in 10 innings, 3-2, but they've broken out of it here tonight. Boone checks his swing and takes low and inside, and they won the Friday game at St. Louis 4-3, stranding 15 runners. A 1-2 count on Bob Boone. This is the first night game at home for the Pirates this year. And it's a chilly night. Here's a ground ball toward third, but it goes foul. Count holds at 1-2. Pirates played their entire first weekend series in the daylight here in Pittsburgh, and they've got another daytime game coming up at the end of this coming week. 1-2 to Boone. Candelaria from the windup. And here is the pitch, and it's a pop fly, shallow left field. Nobody's going to score on this one. Shortstop Tavares is back, and he takes it for the out as the infield fly rule was in effect. And Boone is out for the second out of the inning. Two down, and here's Sizemore. Sizemore has had a pair of hits tonight, both to left field. He's 2 out of 3. Candelaria winds, pitch on the way to Sizemore. High, ball 1. Phil's got 3 runs in the second inning. Added 2 more in the 5th on the homer by Luzinski. Here's a curveball in for a strike. And they've gotten an insurance run this inning, driven in by Jose Cardinal. Kent DeCalvi is throwing in the Pirate bullpen. Here's another curveball, and it's a fly ball into right center field. Parker's play as he comes over, and the right fielder one-hands it for the out, and the inning is over. But the Phils have scored in the 7th. They do it on 2 hits. A couple of walks in the inning, and there are 3 men left on base at the end of 6.5 innings. Phillies lead the game 6-2.
And for the king of beer and silver and please yourself, no matter what you do, no matter when or where, you know a glass of bud is like an easy chair when you drink Bud. Hey, let me tell you something. Something back with a long day behind you and a cold-blooded coffee. And that's living. When you say Bud, you said, oh, Anheuser-Busch, thank good.
The Cat is really on the prowl at your Lincoln Mercury dealers. He wants these dealers to sell every Mercury in stock. Every one. That includes the anniversary edition 4-door Mercury Marquis with its traditional full-size luxury and comfort, plus a special value package featuring a vinyl roof, luxury wheel covers, body side moldings, flight bench seat, and more. Right now, this special package is being offered by Lincoln Mercury to its dealers at a factory discount. So check out your local Lincoln Mercury dealer now at the sign of the Cat.
Now, before the Pirates bat in the 7th, we pause for station identification. The Phillies Baseball Network.
This is KYW 1060 at 10:32 in Philadelphia. AccuWeather says becoming clear and chilly tonight, the low 39. Sunshine followed by increasing cloudiness tomorrow.
Left-handed batting Ed Ott leads it off for the Pirates in the 7th inning. The Phils defensively now have Cardinal in left field. Hebner stays in the game, and he will play first base. Hebner came into the ball game as a pinch runner for Greg Luzinski. Ott, Garner, and possibly a pinch hitter for Candelaria. There is action in the Pirate bullpen. Phillies lead the game 6-2. Ott tripled his last time up. The pitch to him, a pop fly, shallow left field. Boa is out after it. Cardinal coming in. It'll be Larry's play, and the shortstop squeezes it for the out. Ott pops out to shallow left field. Here's Phil Garner. Steve Bry is moving into the on-deck circle to bat for Candelaria. Garner is 0 for 2. He has flied to center and grounded to second. A pitch is over to Garner. Strike one call. Lonborg winds, and a breaking ball catches the corner. Another strike. Nothing in 2, the count on Phil Garner. He's batting just 111. Phils can't believe that. A pitch misses inside. He was murder on the Phillies last year. Lonnie ready to go. Here's his 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Garner goes down. Garner went for a pitch high up out of the strike zone as Lonnie picks up his 4th strikeout. So with 2 outs and nobody on, right-handed batting Steve Bry is going to come up. Bry was with Milwaukee in the American League last year. He batted .249 in 94 games. Bry, right-handed batter. He has had 3 hits and 8 times up for the Pirates. Lonborg misses inside, ball 1. The 1-0 pitch from Lonborg, foul back by Bry. 1 ball and 1 strike. Candelaria goes 7 innings. Gives the Phillies 6 runs and 9 hits. Walked 4, struck out 6. A home run hit off him by Greg Luzinski. Low ball 2. 2-1 the count to Steve Bry. Here's a ball fouled at the plate, and the count is level. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Tomorrow night, the Phillies will look at Bert Blyleven, one of the major offseason acquisitions of the Pittsburgh Pirates. And Steve Carlton will pitch tomorrow night's game for the Phillies. Here's the 2-2 pitch, a little bit outside and low, 3-2. 2 out and nobody on as the Pirates bat in the 7th, and they trail at 6-2. Lonnie ready. Here's his full count pitch, and it's fouled off. The Phillies win this game tonight. They will duplicate an entire season's performance here last year. This has been a tough part for them to win. They beat the Pirates last year in a weekend series at Philadelphia one weekend. And the following weekend came right back here to Pittsburgh and lost all 4. The 3-2 pitch. A line drive towards center field. Maddox getting over to right center, and he catches it for the out. Bry is out, and the Pirates are out in order in the 7th. At the end of 7, Phil's lead at 6-2, and now it's time for a tasty break.
It's easy to make Phillies fans feel fantastic. Just give them a Carlton strikeout or a Luzinski bull blast, and you've made their day. Just as easy to make Tasty Cake fans feel fantastic. Give them a family pack of delicious, fresh-baked Tasty Cake treats and treat them to the kind of fanfare they like best. Tasty Cake treats. They're all the good things wrapped up in one.
Tasty Cake is the world of fun. All the things wrapped up in one.
Plymouth Arrow gets great mileage, 39 on the highway, 29 in the city, and has a low sticker price, $38.41, excluding taxes and destination charges, and features like reclining buckets, tinted glass, and fold-down rear seat. So when you get a Plymouth Arrow, you get your money's worth. The mileage is an EPA estimate for a manual transmission Arrow with 1.6-liter engine. Your mileage may differ. Plymouth Arrow's great mileage, price, and features give you your money's worth. See it today at your local Chrysler Plymouth dealer.
Friday night, May 5th, is college night at the Vet. The Phillies will be playing the New York Mets, and all college students will get $1 off box and reserve seats. Prior to the game, the finalists from the Daily News Disco Contest will participate in the Phillies Disco Contest. That should be lots of fun. That's college night at the Vet, Friday, May 5th. The Phillies and the New York Mets. and $1 off box and reserve seats for all college students. Game time on Fridays is 8:05 p.m. John Candelaria is out of the ball game. They pinch hit for him, and now the Pirates are going to bring right-hander Kent Tekulve into the ball game to pitch against the Phillies in the 8th inning. And as we go to the 8th, let's turn it back to Harry Callis.
All right, thank you, Andy. Kent Tekulve is appearing in his 5th game this season. Again, has pitched 4 2/3 innings, given up 5 hits and 1 run, 3 strikeouts, 4 walks. Tekulve has no wins, no losses, an earned run mark of 1.80. Tekulve, the mainstay in the Bucco bullpen last year. He set an all-time club record for appearances. He appeared in 72 games, shattering the previous mark held by Pete Mickelson back in 1966. Kent had a good year last year. He won 10 and lost 1, and he saved 7 more. The earned run mark was 3.06. Jim Lomborg, the first one to face him, has doubled in a pair of runs and twice struck out. Tekulve, side-wheeling right-hander, delivers to Lomborg over for a strike call. Kent, a string bean right-hander, 6'4", 167 pounds. 1 strike pitch is a breaking ball inside. It's 1-1 to Lomborg. Phillies lead 6-2. We're in the 8th. There's the 1-1 pitch to Lomborg. Swings and he misses at a sidearm breaking ball. Ball and 2 strikes to Lonnie. Kent Tekulve has his sign from Ed Ott. 1-2 pitch to Lomborg. Swing and a miss. He chased the low and away breaking ball, and he struck him out. So Lomborg's out on strike. Got to bring up the top of the order, Jerry Martin. Martin is 1 out of 4. He has flied out to right, doubled to drive in a run, and twice popped up to short. Having rain problems at St. Louis. They're delayed in the 2nd inning. The New York Mets and the St. Louis Cardinals tied 2-2. Here's Tekulve's pitch to Martin, a changeup, missing inside for a ball. 1-0 to Jerry Martin. Tekulve's 1-0 pitch to Jerry. Tried to check his swing, and he did check on a low outside breaking ball. It's 2-0 to Martin. Jerry will be followed by Larry Boa. Here's Tekulve's 2-0 pitch. Fastball grounded foul down the third base side. 2-1 to Martin. Steve Carlton tomorrow night against Bert Blyleven will be on the Phil's radio and television networks tomorrow. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Slider that misses outside, and it's 3-1 to Jerry Martin. Tekulve's 3-1 pitch. Breaking ball is over. It's a beauty. Full count to Jerry Martin. Tekulve will be called upon to be the mainstay of the Buccos bullpen with the loss of Rich Gossage. 3-2 pitch. Jammed him in a little pop foul down the first base side. Willie Stargell puts it away in foul territory. Jerry Martin is out, 2 down. That'll bring up Larry Boa. Boa will bat left against Tekulve. Larry's 1 for 4 is doubled, flied out to deep center, been safe on an air, and flied out to left. Larry off to a fine start, currently hitting .324. Tekulve's pitch to Boa is inside for a ball. Pirates play him way around to the opposite field, and they play him shallow. 1-0 pitch to Larry. Ground ball hit to Phil Garner at third. He gobbles it up and throws, and Boa's out. Phillies go down in order in the 8th. No runs, hits, or errors, and none left. At the end of 7 1/2, it's Phil 6, Buccos 2. Frank Tavares, the top of the order, leading off for the Buccos, bottom half of the 8th inning. Tavares has lined out, struck out, and flied out to left. Phil's has 6 runs, 9 hits. Buccos 2 runs and 5 hits, 2 errors apiece. Tavares has made both boosts for Pittsburgh. Pitch to him is low for a ball. Lomborg's 1-0 pitch to Tavares. Swing, ground ball, just foul down the third base side. Ball and a strike to Tavares. He'll be followed by Omar Moreno and then Dave Parker. Here's Lomborg's pitch to Tavares. Swing, fly ball, left center field, long run, Gary Maddox. Gary there makes the catch. Gary and Cardinal crisscrossing in left center field. Maddox makes the play. Tavares is out, one down. And that'll bring on Omar Moreno. Moreno has singled, walked, grounded into a double play. Sutton McGraw starting to throw in the Phillies bullpen. Should Lomborg run into late inning trouble, Phillies lead 6-2, bottom of the eighth. Lomborg's pitch to Moreno, swing and a foul straight back. One strike to Omar Moreno. Schmidt plays him shallow at third. Moreno has good speed and will try to bunt his way on. Wind up by Lomborg. One strike pitch to Moreno up in the box as if to bunt, and he took it high for a ball. It's 1-1. Lonnie has struck out 4, walked 3. Here's the 1-1 pitch to Moreno. Pops a foul out of play. Lomborg has the jump on him. A ball and 2 strikes. Good catch just below it. 1-2 to Moreno. Lomborg's 1-2 pitch. Low for a ball. It's 2-2. Here's his windup. 2-2 pitch to Moreno. Ground ball, base hit right field. Jerry Martin gets it back in the infield, and Moreno has his second hit of the ball game. For the Pirates. Hit number 6 off Lomborg. That'll bring up Dave Parker. Parker has been the Buccos' offense. He has grounded out, slugged a 2-run home run and the single. Moreno first base, 1 out. Phillies lead 6-2, bottom of the 8th. The stretch by Lomborg, big lead by Moreno. The pitch to Parker, swing, a big cut and a miss. One strike to Parker, who might have gone out of the strike zone to swing at that high pitch. Here's a stretch by Lomborg. There goes the runner. The pitch to Parker is grounded foul. Moreno was breaking on the pitch, but it's fouled off by Dave Parker. The Lomborg's ahead of Parker, 0-2. Lomborg stretches. Moreno a big lead. The 2-strike pitch. Slider low and inside. It's 1-2. Jim Lomborg back on the rubber. Here's his stretch. 1-2 pitch. Swing, a hard ground ball past Hebner and into right field for a base hit. Moreno takes the big turn at second, holds there. The Pirates have 2 men on base, 1 out. Parker gets his 3rd hit of the game. That'll bring on Bill Robinson, who has twice grounded out and flied out to deep left field. Omar Moreno at second base, Dave Parker at first base, 1 out. Ready to work to Bill Robinson. Here's a stretch by Lombard. And the pitch to Robinson. Swinging a nubbing ground ball off the end of his bat to first base. Richie Hebner makes the unassisted putout. Robinson is out and on the play. Moreno moves to third base. Parker to second. 2 outs, and that'll bring on Willie Stargell. Stargell has flied out to center, walked and struck out. Runners second and third, 2 down. Lombard off the mound area to blow into his fist. Chilly night here. Lombard works from the stretch. And the pitch to Stargell is high for a ball. One and nothing to Willie Stargell. Lombard at the belt. 1-0 pitch to him. Swing and a miss. Big cut. No contact. Ball and a strike to Stargell. Omar Moreno at third. Dave Parker at second. 2 outs. Buccos batting in the 8th. Phillies leading 6-2. Here's Lonnie's stretch. 1-1 pitch. Big swing and a miss on a good slider by Lombard. So Lombard is in front of Stargell, a ball and 2 strikes. Now the stretch by Lombard. 1-2 pitch. Swing and a pop foul. It's out of play. Count remains a ball and 2 strikes to Willie Stargell. Cincinnati laying it on Los Angeles tonight in the 6th inning at Dodger Stadium. The Reds lead Los Angeles 8-0. First meeting of the year between the 2 Western Division powers, and Cincinnati well on top of that one. Stretch by Lombard. 1-2 pitch. Very high. It's 2-2. At second base, playing Stargell at shallow right field. Lombard stretches. The 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out with a slider. Stargell goes down swinging. A big K for Lombard, his 5th. For the Buccos in the 8th. No runs, 2 hits, no errors. 2 men left. And at the end of 8, the score remains Phil 6, Pirates 2.
There's a demanding cat around. He's at your Lincoln Mercury dealers, and he wants these dealers to sell every Mercury in stock. Every one. That means you have a great chance to get into any one of his fine cars right now. From the full-size Mercury Marquis right through his Cougars, Zephyrs, Monarchs, and Bobcats. They're all up for grabs right now. See your Lincoln Mercury dealer quick, because that cat means business. At the sign of the cat.
Great in any year. MAB paints. When you paint, get the paint that lasts longer. MAB. It gives you more years per gallon. And great in 78 is what people will be saying about the Phillies. MAB has Phillies Great in 78 bumper stickers. And you could win 2 tickets to a Phillies game if one of the MAB spotters sees the Phillies bumper sticker on your car. To get your free Phillies bumper sticker, visit the nearest MAB paint store, dealer, or Rich Lux Home Center in your neighborhood.
Batter up for a new season of Big League Baseball. And once again, Acme Markets is proud to be sponsoring the Philadelphia Phillies. With a team as great as the Phillies, you expect to see great action. And at a store as great as Acme Super Saver, you expect to find a team of men and women doing their best to give you the finest service in the area, striving to keep our stores clean, attractive, and fully stocked at all times. Come see our team in action at your Acme Super Saver Market.
Well, a week from tonight, the Phillies are back home at Veterans Stadium. The Chicago Cubs are in Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday night. Remember, Monday night's game will start at 8:35, Tuesday and Wednesday, 7:35. And then remember, batting glove weekend against San Diego, the 28th, 29th, and 30th. All youngsters 14 and under getting a Phillies batting glove. And on the 28th, the gloves will be signed, autographed by Mike Schmidt. On the 29th, by Gary Maddox. And on the 30th, by Greg Luzinski.
This late development just now received on the blast at the DuPont plant in Carneys Point, Salem County, New Jersey. A DuPont company spokesman says 3 people are missing as a result of the blast tonight. I repeat, a DuPont company spokesman says 3 people are missing as a result of that blast tonight. The spokesman, Ray Stark, says the plant was involved in the manufacture of nitrocellulose, an ingredient of gunpowder. Stark says he doesn't know if the chemical itself is explosive. We'll have further details as soon as they are received. Now we return to the Phillies Pirates baseball game with Mike Schmidt at bat.
6-2 Phils, 9th inning. The 2-0 pitch to Mike. Broken bat pop into shallow left. Drifting back is Frank Tavares. He makes the catch and Schmidt is out. 1 down. That'll bring on Richie Hebner. He's batting for the first time tonight. Came in to pinch run for Greg Luzinski and stayed in the ball game. Hebner hitting .292. Had 1 homer and has knocked in 4 runs. Luzinski left the game 1 for 2 officially. It was a 2-run home run. He also walked twice. Here's the pitch to Hebner, swinging a foul ball down the left field side. Phillies got 6 runs off John Candelaria in the 7 innings that he worked. Rarity is Candelaria has really been tough against the Phils. Phils didn't beat him all of last year. Hebner got off to a tremendous start. He's been in the throes of a slump of late. He's 0 for his last 11. The pitch to Hebner is low for a ball, 1-1. Ball and a strike to Rich Hebner. Here's to Calvi's 1-1 pitch. Change bouncing up there for a ball. It's 2-1. Jose Cardinal will be next. 1 down, 9th inning. Phillies lead at 6-2. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Inside, ball 3. 3-1 the count to Hebner. Steve Carlton tomorrow night against Bert Blyleven. Phillies' first look at the pitcher coming over from the other league. Pitch is high and away to Hebner. He draws the walk. First walk issued by DeCalvi. Hebner a 1-out base runner. That'll bring up Jose Cardinal. Cardinal is 1 for 3. Has grounded out, flied out, walked, and doubled to drive in a run. Cardinal started the game at first base, moved to left field when Hebner came into the game. DeCalvi stretches. There goes Hebner, swing and a bouncing foul off the plate. Hit and run was on. Cardinal had to chase a low and away pitch. Fouled it off to protect the runner. 1 strike to Cardinal. Hebner goes back to first base with 1 down. Tug McGraw is still throwing in the Phillies bullpen. Could be that Danny Ozark will take Lomborg out of this game. Tug's been up for quite a while. One strike to Cardinal. Here's the stretch by DeCalvi. And the pitch to Jose. Pop up into shallow right field. Coming hard is Parker going out. Stanton, he drops the ball. Can't make the play, but they're going to get a force on Hebner at second base. Quickly retrieved by Dave Parker. And he threw to Frank Tavares for the force on Rich Hebner. Boy, Rich, it's obvious that Rennie Stanton just is not moving well at all. That's generally a routine out for a second base.
That's right. It looked like a routine play. That's why you can't fault Hebner there. Rennie not moving very well. I think he was also a little gun-shy on Dave Parker bearing down on him. Somebody should have made the play, probably Stanton.
But the They got the Force at second base, Parker to Tavares, Hebner Force at second, Cardinal at first with 2 outs, and here's Gary Maddox, and the pitch to him is pop foul out of play. Maddox is 0 for 3. He has popped up, struck out, lived out on there, and been intentionally walked. DeCalvi stretches. Here's the pitch to Gary, swing and a bouncing foul at the plate. Let's pause here for station identification. This is the Phillies Baseball Network.
At 11 o'clock, this is KYW Philadelphia. AccuWeather says it'll be clear and chilly tonight, below 39. A final score from the Spectrum. The Flyers have defeated the Sabres 4-1.
0-2 to Gary Maddox. Cardinal first base and 2 outs. Phillies lead 6-2, 9th inning. Here's DeCalvi's pitch, swinging a ground ball to deep short. Frank Tavares throws the Stennett for the Force on Cardinal, and the Phillies are retired in the 9th. No runs, no hits, no errors, 1 left. We go to the bottom half of the 9th inning. It's Phil's 6, Buccos 2.
Know ya, had a chance to show ya, round for just a while. Take you to the places, meet some brand new faces, share a Coke and make you smile. I couldn't help but notice, in my heart I noticed, couldn't be something good. We talk it over, lunch and Coca-Cola, I really kinda think we should go walking, talking, get to the night, taste our Coke, Coke makes the ride. Coke has life, and when we see you down, really nice to get to know ya. Oh, Coca-Cola, life is looking good. Coca-Cola, Coke has life, and when we see you down, really nice to get to know ya. Oh, Coca-Cola, life.
Doug McGraw is going to come in to pitch the 9th for the Phils. Phillies leading 6-2. A strong 8 innings by Jim Lamborg, who struck out 5 while he was in and walked 3. Gave up 2 runs on 7 hits. McGraw had a good weekend at St. Louis, where he recorded a win and a save against the Cardinals. Doug is appearing in his 4th game. He is 1-0. He has 1 save, and his earned run mark is 1.80. Rennie Stennett will be the first one to face McGraw, and scheduled to bat Ed Ott and Phil Garner here in the 9th inning. Phillies won only 1 game here at Three Rivers Stadium all of last year, ahead in this ball game by a score of 6-2, and knocked out the Pirates ace John Candelaria. Doug McGraw taking the warm-up tosses. Tomorrow night will be on both the Phillies radio and television networks. And the game will be an hour earlier than tonight's game, a 7:30 start time. Doug's ready to go. Rennie Stennett stepping in. Stennett's 1 out of 3. A single grounded into a double play and struck out. Bottom half of the 9th, last chance for the Pirates. There's the windup by Tug, and the pitch is a fastball. It's over for a strike call. 1 strike to Rennie Stennett. McGraw's 1 strike pitch, swing and a bouncing ball to Richie Hebner at first base. He makes the unassisted putout, and that's 1 down in the 9th. That'll bring up catcher Ed Ott. Ott is 1 for 3. He's lined out to center field, tripled to center, and popped up. One down, 9th inning. Here's the pitch to Ed Ott. Swing and a bouncing ball. Tap to Rich Hebner, to McGraw covering, and it's just in time to get Ed Ott on a close play. McGraw had to get over there in a hurry. He did. Hebner to Tug McGraw, 2 down. And that'll bring on Phil Garner. Garner's 0 for 3. His fly to deep center, grounded out and struck out. 6-2 Phils. 2 down in the 9th inning. There's the pitch to Garner. Swings and he misses, and his bat goes all the way into the Philly dugout. Second time tonight that he's lost grip on the bat and heaved it into the Phil's dugout. 3-3 by Jay Johnstone. 1 strike to count to Garner.
Jay can appreciate anybody throwing their bat.
Yeah,
I guess he sympathized with him a little bit.
One strike pitch. Fastball is low, and it's 1-1 to Phil Garner. Here's McGraw's 1-1 pitch. Screwball, swing and a miss. Ball and 2 strikes to Garner, who is really struggling. Garner hitting 115. Guy wore the Phillies out last year. 1-2 pitch to him. Outside, it's 2-2. Wind up by McGraw. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Screwball, swing and a miss. He struck him out and lost his bat again. Garner goes down swinging, and the Phillies have equaled their total number of wins here at this ballpark from all of last year. Winning the first one and beating the Buccos ace 6-2 behind Jim Lomborg and Tug McGraw working the ninth. Pirates 3 up, 3 down, no runs, hits or errors, and none left. And the Phillies win at 6-2. Tonight's winning pitcher, Jim Lomborg. He wins a case of Tasty Cake. For him, wife Rosemary, daughters Phoebe Lee and Claire Elizabeth, and son Nicholas James. And also won tonight for the Bacharach Rehabilitation Center. Phillies 6, Buccos 2. We'll be back with the final totals and a recap right after this.